And we're live. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Fallout New Vegas. Last time, when we left off, we had just kind of finished clearing out that northeast corner of the map by exploring the Devil's Throat and Camp Guardian, and we had made our way over to the Gunrunner kiosk. And ultimately, the bulk of today's video is actually going to be spent exploring Freeside. Yes, it's time to advance the story a little bit. And I just mean a little bit. We're only going to explore Freeside, but still, it's exciting. It's progress. So here we are at the Gunrunner's kiosk. Morning, Nyron. Morning, Ethan. Great to see both of you. How are you this morning? So, you can shop with Vendortron in the kiosk itself. Before doing that, I'm going to do my usual perimeter check of their building. And then I'm actually going to sneak inside and see what I can find. They don't really take kindly to strangers, so everybody inside is actually hostile to you when you trespass in, but that's okay. Good morning, Maya. Good morning, Infinimore. Great to see all of you, as ever. How's everyone doing this morning? Yeah, so you can see the whole thing is... the fence is kind of conjoined with the larger fence around Freeside and New Vegas, so... not really anything for it unless we want to poke around in a couple of these outbuildings. Which I do, because it's me. But really, we're just going to end up heading into the building and trying our best to sneak around. It'd be better not to turn a whole faction hostile if we can avoid it. Yes, Nyron, I actually watched that video this morning before jumping in. It looked great, didn't it? G looks tough and spooky like he should. Claire looks good. This is just a generic Gunrunner guard. Should be able to stealth kill him with no problems. We can check around behind their building, but I don't recall there being much here either. Except another guard. See, now that we're here in the, now that we're back in the Mojave, we're fighting mooks, you can really see just how much more powerful we became in Old World Blues. Like nothing, basically nothing here can touch us now, which is pretty wonderful. Alright, good. Sorry, just 1 second. Let's head inside. Good morning, Trevi. Morning, Vexmaster. Good morning, Cyclo. Going to YOLO genocide all of them anyway. Vex, I just want to thank you again for all of the bits you gave me on Saturday. That was awesome, dude. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. This weekend, there won't be any streams. I'm going to be out of town the entire weekend. We are leaving Friday night and not coming back until Monday. We're going up to the cabin in order to celebrate my 33rd birthday, which is actually tomorrow. The birthday itself is going to be a pretty normal day. I'll be on and streaming in the morning as normal, but yeah, I turned 33 in technically less than 24 hours because I was born at about 3 o'clock in the morning, but there will be no stream this weekend. Alright, there's no upstairs, which is fine. Morning, John. Happy World Revolution Day. Thank you. You don't need to say happy birthday yet. I'll be doing the ordinary morning stream tomorrow when it actually is my birthday. But I already saw someone mention that I could make good money selling this gear to Vendertron. That's true. I'm not going to carry any spares, but here's the Gunrunner Gunsmith. Smiths, I should say. I'm still going to pick up skill magazines, even if I don't have any use for them, because they're weightless, and they sell for really good caps. For considering that they're weightless and they're worth 20 caps a pop. Myron, I like the way your local man headline there just casually throws in another, acknowledging that this has been a regular occurrence for us. Just sneak genocide to yet another post-apocalyptic gang. Leaves their vendor robot alive so he can buy their shit. Wow, Vex, that's amazing, my friend. Don't worry too much about it. If you feel inclined to cheer 3,000 bits, I really don't care when you do it. I just really appreciate the fact that you want to. Thank you, my friend. Alright, we got a Gunrunner terminal here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Vendertron naming. Seriously, can we stop calling the Vendertron a Vendertron? Let's give the thing a proper name, like Bob. We're not calling it Bob. We'll vote on it at the end of the week. Please come up with something decent. Camp McCarran order number 172. Missile launcher 7, missiles 200. We'd like this order expedited if possible. The situation at the dam requires it. Persona non grata. One of the Crimson Caravan guards, identified as Robert Wilson, decided it would be funny to take a shot at our Vendertron. He's lucky he didn't get a 308 through his idiot skull. We're currently negotiating with McLafferty for reparations, but in the meantime, we need to update the Vendertron's recognition software to filter out all Crimson Caravan employees. We'll also need to pull some strings over at McCarran and get them temporarily barred from purchasing ammo there as well. Interesting. Laser rifle. Yeah. Fission batteries everywhere that we can't actually take, which is odd, but okay. And an average lock blocker. That's it. Well, hold on, one more set of shells. It's not like there's actually a lot going on inside the Gunrunner headquarters. Just a few totally generic NPCs and one sort of interesting flavor terminal. I'll grab the gear off of both the outside guys, and we'll have some stuff to sell to Vendortron. His head's on fire. How fun.
Welcome, sir or madam. Do you wish to purchase something?
What is this place?
This is the New Vegas branch of the Gunrunners, supplying the wasteland with only the finest armaments since 2155.
That's some impressive weaponry. Where did it all come from?
All Gunrunner merchandise is constructed on site.
How did you get inside there?
This kiosk was specially constructed around me to deter theft and assault.
Show me what you have for sale.
I am ready to process our transaction.
Alright. So, here's the anti-material rifle GRA, our final endgame gun. Let's sell him the hunting rifles and combat armors and combat helmets. And, yeah, we end up spending net 32 caps. Oh, maybe less. Oh, maybe a lot less. Perfect. While we're here, see, look, he only has 28 50 cal MG rounds. We'll go ahead and buy them, but
Come back and see us again soon.
alright, so here's our GRA anti-mat rifle, which we'll go ahead and mod with all three things we're carrying. The suppressor, which reduces but does not eliminate weapon noise. The custom bolt, which increases the rate of fire. And definitely the most important one, the carbon fiber parts, which decrease the weight by 7 pounds, because it's a heavy fucking gun. With the carbon fiber parts, it now weighs 13 pounds instead of 20. And the ammo's heavy too, so... Anyway... We are now ready to head into Freeside's East Gate and start exploring Freeside. Let's head that way. Oh, and let me hotkey my anti-mat. And put it on... Got the Big Mountain Transportal Ponder on 5. Let me put my anti-mat on 4. I'll put Big Mountain Transportal Ponder on 5. There we go. Yeah, I am ultimately gonna stash the anti-mat until I know I'm gonna be facing Deathclaw's Nyren. So here is Freeside's East Gate. See, there's nobody around. Let's go ahead and head inside. Morning, St. Louis. Homemade tomato soup and bread. That sounds delicious. Alright. There's some poking around and exploring to do here. Our first actual destination is going to be Mick and Ralph's shop, but we've got some people to talk to and things to see before we do that.
Bang, 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 bang!
Talk to these kids. Stacy is fleeing.
Reach for the sky, mister.
Max. Can I buy that gun from you?
This is the best gun in the whole galaxy. I paid 1,000,000 caps for it, and it wasn't even brand new.
Barter 45. Yeah, but your heavy use has really depreciated its value. It's only worth 20 caps now.
Oh man, it's Stacy's fault. She pretends like she didn't get hit. That's still a lot of money. I guess I'll take it.
That gets us Euclid's C Finder, which is what we can use if we made different choices with Helios 1. In this playthrough, it's basically just a paperweight. You look tired. Maybe you should take a break.
I don't really like to go to bed until it gets dark out.
Goodbye.
See you.
Hey there.
Dixon.
More? Looking for a fix, man? I got what you need.
What are you selling?
Have a look, baby.
So he's got some chems. Goodbye.
See ya.
This is Mick and Ralph's, which is the first shop we'll actually explore, but let's talk to Rotface.
Hey, buddy. Spare a cap? I can make it worth your while.
Are you soliciting me?
Ha ha ha. Oh, that's rich. You're not exactly my type. No offense. No, I meant I could give you a tip. Earn my money, so to speak.
What kind of tip?
You look like you're new around here, so I'm sure I know all sorts of things you'd find useful. If not, well, it's only a cap. So what do you say?
Sure, here you go.
The first thing you should know is that Freeside is run by a pack of yahoos that call themselves the Kings. Their leader, who oddly enough calls himself the King, currently has his hands full trying to prevent an all-out riot in Freeside. That's 2 tips, but what the hell? You're a new customer, so the extra one's on me. Wanna hear another?
Sure, here you go.
While everyone knows Mr. House runs New Vegas, no one knows the first thing about him. He just sorta showed up a few years back, and everything you see around you is the result. Just who in the hell is he? That one was pretty good, right? How about another?
Sure, here you go.
I've heard people passing through mention some kind of underground fights pitting creatures of the waste against one another for sport. And when I say underground, that's their word I'm using, not my own. I got more where that came from. Want another?
Sure, here you go.
There's a rumor that a huge army is camped to the east, massing to attack the NCR. Like that'd ever happen. Who in the world could stand up to the NCR and win? That one was pretty good, right? How about another?
Sure, here you go.
If you've been around the Kings, you may have met one of them named Pacer. He's always stomping around trying to show off his authority. Being new, you weren't around when it happened, but a few months ago, Pacer pissed off the Van Graff family big time. No one knows what went down, but word is the Van Graffs still want him dead. That one was pretty good, right? How about another?
Sure, here you go.
Northwest of the big Freeside sign is a casino called the Atomic Wrangler. It's not as fancy as the ones on the Strip, but there's still plenty of excitement to be found there. I got more where that came from. Want another?
Sure, here you go.
He might not look it, but Ralph for Mick and Ralph's is no slouch with a keyboard. I've heard he's helped reprogram several robots in his time. I got more where that came from. Want another?
Sure, here you go.
At the northwest end of Fremont Street, you'll find the Silver Rush. It's run by a rather scary family called the Van Graffs. These are not people you want to mess with. But if lasers and such are your thing, the goods they sell are second to none. I got more where that came from. Want another?
Sure, here you go.
Caught a rumor the other day that some of the clientele over at the Wrangler have been making some rather strange requests. Stuff like weirdos wanting the services of ghouls and such. I almost have half a mind to volunteer myself. Sexy beast that I am. I got more where that came from. Want another?
Sure, here you go.
The NCR used to run a prison to the southwest, but something happened a little while back, and now all you'll get is hard looks if you ask about it. That one was pretty good, right? How about another?
Sure, here you go.
A traveler that passed through here not long ago told everyone he met that there's some kind of plant paradise to the west, where food is abundant. All the people foolish enough to listen to him and head out that way never came back. That one was pretty good, right? How about another?
Sure, here you go.
The Strip is run by the three families, who owe their allegiance to Mr. House. When he first showed up, he gave the local tribes the choice of working with him or getting the hell out of his way. Given how things turned out, I know which way I'd have gone. But hindsight's 20/20, right? I got more where that came from. Want another?
Sure, here you go.
There was a rumor a while back that the White Glove Society was really an all-ghoul gang, which is why they wear those weird masks of theirs. What do you think? Would I look good in a mask? Maybe I'd make more caps. What do you say? Want another tip?
Sure, here you go.
Things have generally been bad here for the squatters, the people who came here hoping for a better life and just got stuck. But lately, the mood has changed. The squatters seem to be a bit more optimistic. I wonder what happened. I got more where that came from. Want another?
Sure, here you go.
In the area between the north and east gates is the old Mormon fort, where the followers of the apocalypse have set themselves up. The followers aren't a bad bunch, and provide healing and supplies to the people of Freeside as they can. I got more where that came from. Want another?
Sure, here you go.
Have you tried going to the Strip only to be stopped by those big metal murder machines? Happens every day around here. But if you know the right people, you can get through the gate without being a rich man. What do you say? Want another tip?
Sure, here you go.
Mention the NCR and people around here get a little on edge. There's talk that they're going to take over all of New Vegas. It doesn't help that they've got military camps all over the place, and more troops pour into the area daily. What do you say? Want another tip?
Sure, here you go.
I've heard the Garretts over at the Atomic Wrangler are having a hard time collecting some money owed to them. An enterprising person like yourself might be able to make some caps helping them with their little problem. What do you say? Want another tip?
Sure, here you go.
East of Freeside, there's an old Air Force base, judging by the road signs. No one knows for sure what's in there, though, on account of anyone approaching the place getting violently blown up.
The boomers.
I got more where that came from. Want another?
He's got a lot. Sure, here you go.
People in Freeside generally fall into one of two categories. Those who've been here all their lives call themselves locals. When people from the NCR and other places started pouring in, the locals began referring to them as squatters, and the name stuck. The locals blame the squatters for the scarcity of resources in Freeside, and the squatters blame any act of violence against them on the locals. They're both right to some extent, and violent outbreaks between the two are all too common these days. That one was pretty good, right?
Hi, Jang Jang.
How about another?
Dude's making a killing. Yes, he is. Sure, here you go.
Drugs are everywhere in Freeside, and even people you might not expect have become addicts. Jacob Hoff, for instance. That man was a brilliant chemist before he picked up the habit. Now, just another junkie. That King Pacer's a fan of Jet, too, though I heard one of the followers talking about it being dangerous for him. Something about his heart. Do yourself a favor and stay away from that stuff, okay? What do you say? Want another tip?
Sure, here you go.
I probably don't have to tell you that Freeside's dangerous, but you might want to think twice about hiring one of those guards at the gates. They're not all saints, is all I'm saying. What do you say? Want another tip?
Sure, here you go.
The Omertas, one of Mr. House's 3 families, run a casino called Gomorrah on the Strip. If you thought the Wrangler was something, you owe it to yourself to go there. What do you say? Want another tip?
Sure, here you go.
Saw a strange thing the other day. The king took that robo-dog of his over to the old Mormon fort. Weird thing was that the dog was flipping out and had to be restrained by a few of the king's men. Hope he doesn't get loose. I got more where that came from. Want another?
Sure, here you go.
There's a guy out on the main drag who sells second-hand adventuring gear. He's got an okay selection. But where does it come from? What do you say? Want another tip?
Sure, here you go.
Ever hear of the gun runners? They sell just about every kind of firearm you can imagine. And some you probably couldn't. I got more where that came from. Want another?
Sure, here you go.
Traders have been griping for a while now about I-15 being too dangerous to travel. I'd steer clear of it unless you're armed to the teeth. I got more where that came from. Want another?
Sure, here you go.
Have you been to Mick and Ralph's yet? They run a store just down the street and sell some things you might not expect. What do you say? Want another tip?
Sure, here you go.
The chairmen run a casino on the Strip called The Tops. It's a pretty classy place by all reports. I haven't been there myself, but I hear security there is kinda tight. That one was pretty good, right? How about another?
Sure, here you go.
I heard something about a town south of here being attacked, but details are sketchy. All I know is there haven't been any refugees showing up here, which means either the attack wasn't too bad, or it was very, very bad. What do you say? Want another tip?
Sorry, maybe another time.
I understand. Well, have a good day.
Cut content. Oh, well, what's the cut content, Nyron? Now you've got me curious. Alright. That's it for Rotface. Check out what I assume is his
Hello.
house.
Bye.
Nothing up here either. Oh, there's Stacy. Oh,
I'm bored.
okay, she doesn't actually have anything to say, which is fine. Here is Mick and Ralph's. Generic hostile Freeside thug. Oh, he tried to mug you. Well, that would be very stupid of him. So in cutting the content, they made him a much smarter character. You don't fuck with Courier 6. That's like rule number 1 in the New Vegas universe. Alright, let's check out this big building. Man. His head's blown up and he's got a destroyed collar. That's interesting. So apparently he was wearing a explosive or slave collar and tried to escape or tamper with it and it blew up. That's crazy. Alright, nothing on the ground floor. Let's roll upstairs 1 level. Here's a little cache of ammunition. Odd place for it, but 9mm pistol, which I don't particularly care about. I don't believe there is anything on the top level. TCL to check on it right quick. And then we'll just quick load. Yeah, that's it for here. Over here you saw somebody waving at us from an alleyway. Pretty obvious ambush, but we'll let them try to spring it on us and then murder the shit out of them. Should have done more with the man who has no head. He's your favorite character in Freeside. As they wave at you, try to flag you down into here. Good Snicked, thank you for the follow, my friend. I appreciate it. Nice to have you here. Always fun to see new people. Ah. So, presumably the idea was to get me to run past his buddies there so they could surround us for the mugging, but... You can just fuck right off. There's a dead local here. And that's it for here. You missed the dialogue. Yeah, and I got the drop on them. They were just gonna attack me anyway. Alrighty. So I remember right, Freeside is divided into 2 zones. The highlights of this first zone are the old Mormon fort, which is right here, which is home base for the followers of the apocalypse, and of course Mick and Ralph's shop. Let's keep poking around and exploring the streets. Freeside was gonna be real complex. And there's even now there's a good bit to do here, but I'm sure they cut a lot of stuff. That's true pretty much everywhere.
If it can be bought, it can be found at Mick and Ralph's.
Mick and Ralph's Crier.
Stop by Mick and Ralph's for all your shopping needs, sir.
We can go further into Freeside. We're not gonna do that yet. Head over here. There's a kid chasing a rat. Ooh, and a new Mojave Express drop box. We've got Good Springs, Prim, Novak, and now Freeside drop boxes. Not that it matters. Home base is and will forevermore be the sink at Big Mountain. Giant rat. Child.
You're funny looking. We're gonna have rat tonight.
Okay, yeah, he's just trying to get hold of the rat. What about this guy? He's not hostile. He's not hostile off the bat. Just a local.
Howdy.
You know how I feel about generic NPCs, though. We're not going to go in the fort yet, but we'll explore the street out in front of it. Old Las Vegas Mormon State Historic Park. Anything over here? Love how not being caught gives you no bad karma. Well, that's not true. No, you still get a... It's just murder doesn't give you bad karma because reasons. I guess that means he was a bad dude. Because you can be undetected stealing shit and you drop karma like crazy. Yeah, for whatever reason, murder doesn't lose you karma. Steal this guy's food. Now, oh, we're dehydrated. Take care of that. Now we'll talk to him.
Need some grub? I got you covered. Cheap and filling.
What are you serving?
Typically, I find it goes down better if I leave people guessing. So what do you say? Want some?
Not until you tell me where you get the food from.
I have my little helpers out and about, always looking for fresh things to add to the stew pot. You may have seen them around somewhere yourself. Now deny your hunger no longer.
Not right now, thanks.
You'll be back.
Exit to Outer Vegas. Oh, we're hungry too. It's alright, I'm prepared. King's gang member. Generic. Oris. Gambler.
This man's prices are steep, but I hear he's worth it.
Oh yeah, let's go ahead and chat with Oris.
This gentleman and I were just settling on a price. I'm afraid you'll have to hire one of the others this time around.
Alright. And we've got one street left to explore over here. There's a little garden here, looks like, but not anything we can actually take.
The pump is property of
Tapper.
the king. You'll need to pay if you want a drink. The king controls the water pump. If you want water, you need to pay like everyone else.
Why charge for water?
If we let everyone run amok, the damn NCR would shut us down. Gotta have some way to regulate usage.
How much for a drink?
Just a few caps for a good long swig.
Never mind.
Anything else you want?
Can I buy bottled water?
Sure thing.
There we go. Interesting. See you later.
Bye.
Alright. Anything back here? Nope. Yeah, there's lots of talking when you get to a new settlement or town. You came in just after we finished Old World Blues. Door to Freeside. Alright, that's just another entrance to the other section. Still a good bit to poke around back here, though. Another building there. What is this? Door to Ruin's store requires a key, which I don't have. Interesting. Okay, let's swing back there in a second. Let's see what's over here first. Whatever this building is seems to have no entrances, but there's a guard tower. Oh, it looks like one over here. It also has no entrance, however. So I guess Nyron said Freeside was originally going to be a lot more complex. I'm guessing this building is cut content too. Maybe that guard tower as well. How about killing the king instead? That'd be, the king's not a bad guy. That'd be kind of harsh. Yeah, look at all this. I bet all this back here is cut content, which is a shame. Oh, hey, here's an actual door. Cerulean Robotics. We'll be there later for a quest. I remember that one. And one last dumpster to search. Local man wipes out entire town in yet another casual Wednesday. I've hardly fought anybody, man. That's the thing, like, this place is pretty fucking empty to start with. This front section is, anyway. Alright. Let's jump back over to Mick and Ralph's now. Head inside. Sounds more like a slow day for the courier. Yeah, if the courier's in a town, it's a pretty slow day for him. Yeah, we did already explore that. Okay, good.
We've got stuff we're not even allowed to sell, people. Only at Mick and Ralph's.
Holy cow, is it out? God, yeah, it's already been 45 minutes. Guess we spent a shitload of time talking to Rotface, didn't we? Alright, Mick and Ralph's. Good bit to do in here. Just, you know, even more talking and lots of shit to steal.
How's it going?
Can do that first. Stealing shit's more or less always my first priority, so. See, we're undetected but losing karma, so it's not about whether you're detected or not, it's about the fact that apparently in the Fallout universe, stealing is worse than murder. Go figure. Here's 100 sneak paying off the way it freaking should. Thanks for that, boys. Probably gonna need to run out of here and offload pretty soon. Yeah, not probably, definitely. And it's offload time. Our carry capacity is full. Oh. Apparently we can't teleport out of Freeside. That's fine. Head to Outer Vegas. Give me the bits before I finish New Vegas, would I play the new versions of Baldur's Gate by Beamdog? That depends on exactly what you're asking. I am going to play Baldur's Gate. That's, I think I've pretty much settled on those being the next things, the next main projects that I want to do anyway. That being said, I wouldn't, I'm not going to preempt New Vegas for anything. I'm not going to interrupt it with a different main project before it's actually done, if that's what you're asking. Alrighty. So, we'll stash Euclid's Sea Finder and the anti-material rifle. Process everything we can process. You don't have any appliances to destroy or Saturnite fists to superheat. Well, ain't that a shame. Not sure I could be happy playing Fallout without murdering a few dozen fools. Yeah, probably true.
Will sir be staying for any considerable... Will sir be staying for any...
He still hasn't restocked, which kind of surprises me, but I guess that's alright. I like a decluttered inventory though, so anything I'm not actually going to use at some point I'm just going to dump in here. There's always an off chance I'll want these combat boosting chems, so alright. Still got 10 minutes. Let's get back to it. Will I play the Beamdog version instead of the old version? I was always planning on playing the Beamdog version. Not that I don't find it all that different, but the quality of life improvements, particularly the fact that when you're playing Baldur's Gate 1 and it imports all of the improvements that they made to Baldur's Gate 2, makes the enhanced editions pretty compelling to me. So yeah, we'll definitely be playing the enhanced editions. I don't all that much care for a lot of the new content that they put in. You know, I don't really like Nira. I can't even remember the monk's name, but I don't like him anyway. That being said, one huge exception to that statement is the fact that I freaking love Dorn. I think he's awesome, and I like to use him in almost every playthrough now. So yeah, we will be playing the enhanced editions when we get to Baldur's Gate. I think people lamented that they weren't more different than the originals, but I think it's great. They hew quite close. They add a little bit, but most of what they do is just a lot of nice quality of life fixes that, in fact, were present in Baldur's Gate 2 anyway. Just having them in 1 is really nice, I think. It allows you to build your character completely differently from the outset. Because if, you know, considering all the changes before, if you wanted to really be optimized in terms of your builds, you had to basically had to respec in between the two games. You know, you couldn't import a character who was optimized for BG1 into 2 because you had so many better options in 2, but with the enhanced versions, you don't have that problem. Rocket souvenirs, yeah, those are useless at this point. Vault 3 jumpsuit. That's interesting. Not interesting enough to take, but I don't believe we found Vault 3. Anything in these? Looks like yes. So it looks like I'm gonna get stuck. So let's just dump them out. Loot them that way. Oh, we are stuck. TCL time. That's the easy fix. Potato. Some more nuts. Seems like that's empty. Probably looking at the clock, we're probably not going to talk to these guys until the next stream. We're just going to finish robbing them blind and call it good. I am shockingly low on time. It's already 7 o'clock here. I have to get ready and go to work. There's still one more door we haven't explored. Alright. That is gonna do it for today's stream. I know not a whole lot happened this time, and you know it's unfortunately probably gonna continue for a little bit because we've got to explore Freeside and talk to people and get through the dialogue and get through the quests. But, you know, that is what it is. That's part of RPGs too. So that's going to do it for today. For those of you who are here on Twitch, thank you for joining me. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider hitting the follow button so you can see when we go live in the future. If you are new, I tend to do my best to absolutely 100% everything, which is why I talk to everyone, exhaust all the dialogue, and explore every nook and cranny, because that's just, you know, kind of my deal. If you're watching later on YouTube, and that's a style that you're into, I hope you'll like the video and subscribe to the channel. I stream early in the morning and sometimes unpredictably, but all of my content eventually makes its way over there. And finally, regardless of the platform you're on, I hope you'll join our Discord server. The link to do so is either in the YouTube video description or the Twitch channel description. We discuss games you'd like to see me play, I make announcements about when I'm going live, and, you know, talk about lots of other stuff too. Right now, we're all kind of on the Resident Evil 2 remake hype train. So, again, wherever you are, however you're watching, thank you for doing so. I really appreciate it. Next stream is actually going to be tomorrow morning. Same time, same game. So I hope to see you all there. Bye-bye.